Okay, good morning, good afternoon, whatever the case may be. We're going to look at something called angle addition postulates today. Okay, so on the back we are going to do some examples and we'll put together a definition. So I guess as simple as I can make this is with apples. There's an apple, kind of like a heart. There's apples there in a basket. Okay. Here's another basket. This one has so the total apples is 5, right? Okay. Very much the same thing with angles. So let's draw some angles. Okay. So just for simplicity's sake, we'll call this 1 and we'll call this 2. And we'll call this whole big thing 3. So if we took angle 1, added to angle 2, we would get angle 3. And I would say the measure. So that's really what angle addition postulate is. So for example, if angle 1 was 20 degrees and angle 2 was 42, then angle 3 would be 62. Right? And that's really all we're doing. Okay? The sum of the interior angles gives us the exterior angle. I'm not crazy about exterior. It gives us the total. I'm going to cross that off and go total, because there is something called an exterior angle and I don't want to get it confused moving forward. Okay, so the sum of the interior angles gives us the sum of the total angle measure. Gives us the sum of the interior angles gives us the total angle measurement. Okay, so that's that. And there's a worksheet that we have to practice this. And I'm really glad we are practicing this because some algebra concepts on here, and the new SAT, or one of the measuring sticks for how well we're doing as a school and as students and as educators, is the new SAT. And on the new SAT there's a lot of algebra. Alright, so strengthening that algebra muscle is in our best interest. Alright, and we'll get plenty of cracks at it. So first thing with this is just to label what we know. Okay, and it says use the same diagram for A and B. Information does not carry over. So I'm going to use this one with this information, and I might draw another picture over here, or maybe I'll do them both. But JKL is right here, and that's 46. LKM is right here, it's 18. So JKM is this whole thing is going to be 46 plus 18, which is 64. same thing over here. I'll just draw this picture really quick. JKLM. JKL, we don't know, but next there. LKM is 21, and the whole thing, both angles, JKM is 88. Well, to get this piece, I'm just going to go 88 minus 21, which is 67. Okay? So that is that. A little more algebra over here. Now, information, XB is the angle bisector. Bisector, we bisect something, we bi is 2, cut it, so bisect is cut in half, cut into 2s. Okay, so XB is a bisector, so that means this is going to be the same as that. Okay, AXB, it says AXB is 23. Oh, that's 23 and it bisected. That's 23. And then the whole thing would be, just add them together, 46. So let's plug in what we know. BXC is right here, it's 23. And AXC, the whole thing is 46. So making sure we're reading, and that's another SAT concept that we really got to have, and just in general, is reading and pulling information from when we read. Okay? And down here, start filling in what we know. ABC, the whole thing is 122. And this is really similar to those betweenness problems we did last chapter. This is like P, Q, and X. Same kind of thing, except now instead of a line or a segment, we've got an angle. So ABD is 8x plus 20 or 20, and DBC is 22x minus 3. Okay, so now just like this guy, we added the two pieces together to get the whole. Same thing here. We're going to add this piece to get that. So 8x plus 20 plus 22x minus 3 is 122. If they're on the same side and we want to combine them, we just add or subtract. That is a linear term. This is a linear term. The 20 and the negative 3 are constants. There's no variable. They do not change. So we call them constants. 8 plus 22 is 30x. 20 minus 3 is plus 17 is 122. Okay, you can make a do and undo chart. You can hunt zeros and ones. I'm going to choose to hunt zeros and ones, so I'm going to subtract 17. Thou shalt do it to one side, thou shalt do it to the other. I like to use calculators because they do not make mistakes, given you plug in the right thing. I had a student argue with me about that on Friday. Yeah, they'll make mistakes if you plug in something that is wrong. That's called garbage in, garbage out. That's a programming term. So 122 minus 17 is 105, and then we just divide by 30. So we get 3.5. So x is 3.5. Okay, so I'm going to put that here. X is 3.5. ABD is 8x plus 20. So I'm going to go 8 times 3.5 plus 20. So I'll just take that times 8 and then add 20. And I got 48. Okay, 48 here. Plug it in over here. 22 times x minus 3. 22 times 3.5 minus 3. And then just plug it in. 22 times 3.5 minus 3. 74. Now these two should add up and get me 122, so I'm going to check that. 74 plus 48 is 122. Beauty of mathematics. Okay, you get a true or a false. If you get a false, you've done something wrong. Okay, so these add up to get me 122. I checked it. Give myself a little smile face for good effort. And we are moving on. Okay? Any questions about that? Alright, I'm going to give you guys a crack. So go ahead and take a shot at number 4. Okay, and we'll collaborate, come back together, and I'll do a reveal in a minute here. Alright, so here's 4. The whole thing is 180, and I know that because it's a line, but it gives it to me, which is great. So PRQ right here is 6x minus 13, and then QRS is 3x minus 4. So I combine those together. I add the x's together, get 9x, and I added the 13 and the minus 4 and got 9 is 180. Subtracted the 9 from each side, so now I've got 9x is 171 divided by 9, and I get x is 19. Plug that in here, and then I just plugged it in on my calculator, and I did PQR is right here, so 6 times PRQ, 6 times 19 plus 13 is 127, and then 3 times 19 minus 4 is 53. I added those together, and I got 180, so I knew that it checked. Okay? Questions on that? Alright, so that's basically what you're doing. I mean, there'll be kind of different setups, different alignments, but this is pretty much what's going on with angle addition. Hope this helps. Have a great rest of your day, and we'll catch up soon. Take care.